One, two, three.
So hi folks, today we are here to discuss how taxation and law works in cryptocurrencies, which is indeed a very gray area when it comes to cryptocurrencies because there is no regulation, particularly in India for cryptocurrencies. I have with me Riddhi, who is a CA by profession, and she is very active in cryptocurrency space since last 6-7 years. Yeah, so Riddhi, why don't you introduce yourself? What do you do? What intrigued you to come into cryptocurrencies?
Okay. Thank you, Rohit. So yeah, I have been here in the market in the crypto world since like 2017. I became proactive in late 2018 and then finally fully active by say 2020. So my journey started just as a hodler, as an investor towards the fascination towards the market, like what Bitcoin is, how things work, how the blockchain system works. It took me some time to understand, and finally I found it to be very fascinating. I worked with few of the developers regarding the creation of the cryptocurrency for the financial assistance to help them out while they fought for a few of the hackathons and stuff. So I was part of few hackathons. So that is how I started my journey. And then I do consult on the crypto taxation and the regulation. I do write white papers. Whenever it comes to like a new launch of crypto, they need white papers to be written. So I write the white papers. So that is all my journey about. So the major thing that I deal with is when some new coin is launched, the white paper stuff, the taxation stuff, and how the tax planning is done, and how the laws should be complied with. So this is my area of working, and the legal aspects when some exchanges are opened. So I eventually started liking the space a lot, and therefore I get those clients who are mostly into the crypto trading part, or who have done something or the other, who are basically launching their coins. So yeah, that is how I started my journey, Rohit.
Oh, nice. So probably I'll just dive deep into this. You are a CA, right? And then crypto is like a very non-regulated thing, whereas CA as a profession is very regulated. So these are poles apart. So what made you that like I don't think you work full time in cryptos, consulting and all that, but then also how do you go about it? Like, are you accepted in your community or not? That's my first question.
I am accepted in my community. So basically, I'm the treasurer from the branch of Raipur. So ICAI Raipur branch has me as the first female treasurer for the continuous 2 years. So I am basically accepted in the ICAI and the CA community per se, and they are also welcoming the blockchain and stuff. But at the same time, CAs are becoming aware of the blockchain thing. It's basically the engineers who started it, then they landed up with all the financial prospects of covering the coding part, and that is how they build a reputation. So it's called a fintech world. So we people are the finance people and the tech people are the engineers. So somehow it has to be combination of both. So yeah, I'm accepted as a fintech female, so I call myself a woman in blockchain this way. So I am accepted here, but yeah, initially to explain someone that crypto is good for a layman, it's hard. So for the people who are educated, it's equally hard that there's something called crypto and it works well, because everybody looks at it like a stock thing, and they look at it. The background is to be checked. Then everybody goes to the balance sheet and profit and loss account before investing into any stocks. When they come to crypto, they're like, oh, what is to be checked? Is that a gamble? Is that a pump dump thing? So it's very hard to explain at the initial level. It's not only the pumping and dumping that's going on. There are so many other things that are there. Are smart contracts that you can look for. There are the utility things that you can actually look for in the market. So yeah, I'm accepted in a way, and this is new that female CAs in blockchain are like really very less, very few that I can count on. So that is how I started my journey, whole soul. I'm not in full swing. Like I don't have only those clients who trade in crypto. There are a variety of clients. There are a lot of businessmen and other normal professionals too who have no relation to the crypto market. Yeah.
So essentially, I'll just pick on what you said. Is it an asset class or a currency by any chance? So just digressing for the topic, but this is very close to me also. And that, what do you think cryptos are? Is it an asset class or is it a currency by any chance? Because I think it more as an asset class rather than a currency per se. And I have my own thesis.
I say you have your own thesis. You think it more of us?
Asset class, asset class.
Oh, you think that crypto is an asset class? So, the government of India in May 2021, this year, with India Tech Limited, they have launched a policy proposal. And that policy proposal has things about how crypto will be taken in India. So all those traders who are in a panicking position, what if this monsoon parliamentary session will ban crypto? It's not so. It will not ban. The policy proposal itself says it will not ban the cryptos. So in the similar fashion, that particular policy paper, it speaks about the fact that cryptocurrencies are digital assets. They have classified into digital assets, and they specifically have written the policy paper, the India Tech policy paper. It shows, and the laws of the crypto are basically going to be designed by India Tech along with the ZepPay people. So these two people are basically responsible for creating the laws. So now what they've decided in the initial policy proposal, what they've written is, it's going to be a digital, it's a digital asset, it's not currencies. And they will grant it a recognition as a digital asset. But that is very similar to gold and stocks and say marketable securities. Now, several countries like USA and Australia, they also have a similar approach of taking it as a digital currency. So soon we'll see laws coming up regarding the same. So it is going to be classified as digital assets. Like you don't have to be confused where it will fall in the asset class. There are so many assets that it can be classified into. Speaking to a layman, they'll tell you that, okay, treat it as a stock. Treat it as a stock, the way you treat your securities, the way you trade in the share market. But it's not so. This digital asset is soon going to be defined by the government itself. And they have given this regulation that we are going to do it. They are not far from doing it. But as of now, 19 July was the date when they proposed to come forward with something like this. But as of now, they have not. They are even planning to take it to the next winter monsoons, winter parliamentary session.
Winter monsoon got postponed. And I'll just add here, like from my understanding, in parliament during what you can say during the budget session also there was a discussion and the Ministry of State for Finance explicitly did not say that we will ban it, so there won't be a blanket ban as such. And in subsequent interviews also he did not say that. There was a direct question to him, will government ban it, but he deflated that question, that not answering that in a direct manner. So a blanket ban, like 2018 March was not also a blanket ban, to be very honest. RBI just pulled hands of the regulated entities which RBI could govern, that they cannot do business with cryptocurrencies, and essentially pulled a lever. So I also have the opinion there won't be a blanket ban, but you never know, as you mentioned, that things can change overnight in cryptocurrencies. Like some bad actors can change things overnight.
No. The government in India is equally aware of the fact how crypto works. We are not far from the whole fact that how the blockchain system works. The government is not far from the similar regime of how the things are working in the crypto space. As such, they never gave a blanket ban, and you know that they have written this in policy paper that crypto has a bright future in India. It has unique stage to attract the FDIs, the foreign investors. So they'll generate employment, they'll foster innovation, they'll enhance India's strategic importance in the global level. So that paper and the way the government is dealing nowhere shows that it's going to ban the things. Rather, it's going to be very, very regulated. Very regulated because it attracts lots of laws per se, like the Banking Regulation Act comes into picture, the FEMA comes into picture when you go to the other exchanges, the foreign exchanges. As soon as you start dealing with them, though, the Foreign Exchange Management Act, the FEMA comes into play. Then there is Prevention and Money Laundering Act that comes into play. So there are multiple level of laws that are going to be attracted. It's going to be created in a new form. This digital currency is going to be expressed in a form and manner with something like a new law. at a very nascent stage, the way GST was dealt, in a very nascent stage, they might come up with the liberal things, but eventually they will regulate everything, every single thing. So yeah, they're going to come soon with the new laws, and the government is totally aware of the fact that people have converted their black money into white. They are trying to diversify the money, all the black money that they held. They have put into the stocks of the crypto. They have put in the crypto exchanges. They have bought all those bitcoins and stuff from the similar thing. So government is equally aware. Government is a bit scared about the fact that what if the terrorist fund comes into picture, and see, not only the black money, the terrorist funding and other things are going to be very scary. So that are the reasons that they initially had an implant that, okay, let's give it a name of ban, because they are going to soon check where's the source, what is your source of income, and what is your final destination where you are transferring. And that's an open source system. So it's an open BTC specifically, and all the other things are like open source, blockchain, everything is available from where it goes where. So yeah, the government is ready for everything. They're just planning it like in a concrete way. If it's not taken this monsoon season, they are going to come in winters with something new. But that definitely would never mean a ban. It would definitely mean that they'll have much regulations. So somebody as a trader would be scared of the fact, oh, there are so many compliances that I need to make today as a trader that I didn't do in like early 2013, 17s, and so on.
But tell me one thing, that same level of compliance that attracts stock market also, and what you can say, normal trader who trades in FNO derivative. So how do I see it? Maybe my again thesis might not pan out, but that there is a path towards the same achievement. Like there will be like how stocks are traded on NSE, BSE, crypto assets will be traded over an exchange. That exchange can be regulated, but can be multiple, can be one, whatever it is. Then there can be derivatives. If you want to open an account, similar process, DMAT, e-sign, video KYC, etc., and life is sorted. So that's where my end goal is, where I see in the next 5-7 years. So how do you see same parallel or something different?
You know, when you compare it with the stock market thing, it goes like, those assets are basically the capital assets, and those are the movable assets. It's classified into two parts. Capital assets are movable and immovable. Now I'm going to the technical part of it. I can see your expressions coming up differently. So all those securities are traded, and they are traded in the stock exchange. So those securities are listed. When it comes to all the crypto things, it's not listed in any of the stock exchanges. Like the way it's listed in NSE, BSE, the way the government has control over the NSE, BSE, all the crypto world, all the things are not regulated somewhere. So that is why it's treated as an unlisted security. So all the cryptos that we deal in are unlisted securities.
And the taxation also works in similar manner.
A very similar fashion and manner it works. Yeah, it works in a very similar fashion and manner. The most common question that comes to me is, oh, we have not we have not made any income out of the cryptos. Are we supposed to pay tax? So it's like, no, until and unless you don't have an income, you're not supposed to pay taxes. So coming on to your question specifically, that are they going to be treated as the stock market thing? The answer is no, until and unless they give a very concrete regulation of KYC, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the suspicious transaction reporting. The accounting standards will be applied. The classification of cryptocurrencies will be done. There are multiple levels that the government is going to work once they create something like an act, or once they create something like this is to be done, this is how it has to be taxed. So it's not going to be like stocks, but definitely there will be much thing like KYC and stuff, where it's coming from, where it's going, because they want to know how the things are working. So there is a lot of verification and reporting that will be done by the government. More than stocks, much more than stocks. It's a very volatile market. Yeah.
So I'll just come back to how the taxation question. So how I understand unlisted, like I invest in unlisted securities. So how I understand is that if you make a capital gain, tax is applicable. So just to decouple to everyone what capital gain is, let's say I invest I buy a cryptocurrency at 100 rupees.
Okay.
After some point in time, I sell it at 150. So that 50 rupees is a capital gain. Then that is classified in two parts, long term and short term. So now do you want to decouple it for folks who want to understand how it works? What are the slabs, etc., etc.? I know the answer, but just for the sake of the audience.
Right. So it goes on like, if you treat it as capital gains specifically, so capital gains will be taxed at the rate the capital assets are taxed. Now, if it's a long-term capital gain, so long-term capital gain, the holding period is like less than 36 months. So you'll be charged at like flat 20% rates. If it's a short-term capital gain, you're holding for less than 36 months, you will be part of the slab rates. Now, the Indian government, all the taxation, it works with the slab rates. So you'll be charged as per the slab rates. So that is how the working is done. When you treat it as capital gain, and the disclosure is done as if they are the capital assets in Schedule 3 of the Company Regulation Act 2013. These cryptocurrencies are, if we go there, it can be deemed to be an asset, which the government is not going to do. However, since the regulations are not in the play 100%, we do deal it as long-term or short-term taxation. So if you're holding your prospect of investment, kitne time ke liye aap usko hold kar rahe ho? Lamba, it's going more than 36 months, it's a long-term capital thing.
And how much is long-term taxed at? 20%, right? With
Flat
indexation.
20%, like there's no slab rate to it. It's flat 20%. Yeah. And specifically in India, we don't have disclosure. Like you don't have to show what are your holdings. If you go to US, you have to disclose what are your holdings. So I think all those traders who are worried what will come up next, maybe they're going to tell you that, okay, give your disclosures. What all currencies do you hold? What all do you trade in? No matter you're not making any kind of income out of it, or you're just trading and you're just converting into USD or keeping the similar currencies in your wallets. But soon they're going to ask you that, okay, show everything in your balance sheet, PL, on your returns. You have to just, on the face of your returns, you'll have to write that I hold this much Matic, ADA, whatever BTC. This is my current portfolio that I'm trading in. They might come up with something like that. But yeah, for capital gain, it's like 30%, and the slab rate system when it's short-term capital gain. Yeah.
20% you mean long-term?
Long-term 20%. If you're holding it for more than 36 months.
And 20% is with indexation, right? Or without?
Now, how do we go about indexation here? There's no indexation.
No. So there is a CII index, no, by the government. That is used for.
There is, but it's the CII index. It works when you treat it as a capital asset. The government has specifically not given any kind of regulation regarding which asset class this will be. Otherwise, Section 214 of the Income Tax Act, it defines the capital assets. As of now, cryptos are not capital assets. They will define it no sooner. They are going to come with something like describing it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like unlike normal scenarios where 20% is with indexation, here it's nothing indexation, 20% flat, greater than 36 months, less than 36 months.
Yeah.
It's slab rate, whatever you come in, 10, 20, 30.
And
so tell me, does like you as a CA, you come from this background only. Do you think that right now, let's say there is no clarity, we don't know, so people are assuming this. Like this is my assumption that people are assuming this is the taxation, and some people are paying, some are not paying. But do you think that once regulation comes into picture, it will be more streamlined? As in streamlined, my direct question is, will this taxation be applicable in the future? I know no one can guess because government can come up with something new, but do you think this is the right way to tax it as a capital gains, or is it some another way we can tax it, like in under income tax, some another head of income, etc.?
Yeah, so there are multiple things that come into play. We have 5 heads in the income tax. One is house property, just leave it around. There's nothing related to the house property thing. But then comes the salary part. There are so many people who are paid in cryptos for the service that they're rendering. They have to disclose it in their salaries. They have to show their salary slips. Then there are people who are basically doing it as a business, who are trading, who are avid traders, who day and night trade like what. So those people, they have to maintain their books of accounts. They have to show it as the business income. They have to manage their books of accounts. They have to get it audited, and that will be part of their PGBP income, which is business and gains, the income will be shown in the PGBP income. You'll have to come up with the similar thing that, okay, this is my PGBP income, and these are the things, or these are the currencies that I've traded in. So there are multiple, like 5 heads, except for house property, it attracts almost all the other heads. Salary is attracted, yes. PGBP is attracted, yes. When it comes to this capital asset part and treating it as an investment, long-term, short-term, then yes, it's long-term capital gain flat 30 or 20%. Short-term capital gain, you have to go with the taxation rate, the slab rates. And then the last thing would be IOS. It's income from other sources. Other sources. So, there will be chances. Now, when the income from other sources are generally applied is when people used to get the interest and dividend, they used to show it as income from other sources. Now, people are getting airdrops. They're getting the free currencies. Now, where would they show it? They have to immediately take it to the income from other sources. And all those income from other sources will also be taxed. So government nowhere has given you freedom that, oh, I get a free airdrop and I'm not going to.
That is.
You mean
And tell me one more thing. Right now, everything is self-declaration, right? If you are honest, if everything is good, you declare and then you pay tax, right? But what if someone has not declared since last 3-4 years? What can be the repercussion? That is part A. Because eventually when law comes, this can be backtraced to you, right? This can be backtraced to you. It can be even now also, to be very honest, but government is not looking into this. So what can be the
government is looking into it. Government is looking into it. If you're not paying taxes, either ED will call you, either the IT department people will call you, but they will call. There are clients who face such problems.
No, specifically for not paying taxes in crypto. From crypto gains, and like we know normally ED, IT, income tax folks call folks if they don't pay tax or something like that. But my question is specifically for cryptos. Like, are there any instances where individual folks like you and me, not like entities, non-individual, are being called off?
Not RBI. These ED guys.
Are being called off.
Are being called off. So they are called off. If you trade avidly in Bitcoin, so much on cryptos, you take it from your banking channel and stuff. Everything is seen in blockchain. You are trading with the Indian exchanges. You're trading with the Indian exchanges having the foreign like HOs. Yes, they come to know. They'll call you. They'll ask you, where are you, sir? From the past 3 years, you've been trading. Where are the taxes? Go ahead, you'll have to pay the taxes, you'll have to pay the penalty. So there's no other way out, the way you're thinking. They're not going to call us, they don't know it, they know everything. And then you are in an open source system, they even know where you are transferring things. No matter how smart you play, you're going to get caught. So all those people who have not filed their returns, make sure that you get it done for the past 3 years at least. If you're not getting it done, if you have not got it done now, make sure that you do this thing, come to the main course, come to the real reality of the work that a Indian citizen has to do. You have to go, you have to pay taxes, you'll have to show that, okay, this is my income. And nowhere the income tax law says that only if you convert it into fiat, INR, that then is when you're going to pay taxes. No matter you convert into any other currency, be it USDT, USD, or any other stable coins. You have to disclose it. Everything is seen, it's visible. You have to disclose it. You have to make a track record of things that you have done in the crypto market. They're going to ask you everything. It's not that liberal that the government is unaware. Suppose, for instance, it calls you tomorrow, you have to take all your documents. Oh, this is what I've done in the market. It's visible.
So now what you are talking about, after this webinar, I'll call my CA and I'll get my things sorted also. Because now I am also scary.
You are caught. You are caught. It's an open source system, sir. You'll be caught very easily. If I transfer my amount to your account, it's visible in the open source. You will have to disclose it. You will have.
But let's say, like in my case, see, let's take my example, because I know 90% of the folks are like this. They trade, they don't pay tax. The intention is not to pay. It's not like they don't have to pay. It's like that they don't know how to pay. So now, since you showed us the real picture, tell
Right.
us, how do we course correct? Like, let's say 3 years, 4 years, I'm trading, I'm a hodler, not trading, hodler, short-term trader, buy stuff, pump and dump, makes passive income. What should I do so that I can probably not face the repercussions? I pay my tax, everything is sorted.
Go to streamline. CAs are considered as equivalent to doctors. You have to disclose all your incomes, your salaries, your crypto earnings. You have to disclose it to your CA. So that is how it goes. You cannot avoid your CA telling, "Oh, I just have my salary income. I'm doing nothing in the crypto world." Tomorrow you'll land up in trouble. When the government is going to come with the regulation, they might come up with a regulation of 115% penalty rate on the income that you've earned. We've seen this in other things. So if you're not doing it today, you're actually landing in some or the other kind of problem tomorrow is per se for sure. So somebody like you or a normal person who's just trading in the market, why should I pay taxes? Go ahead, talk to your CA, disclose your income, tell that okay, this is the slab rate, or where do I land in, like I have 5 lakh or 8 lakh or more than 8-10 lakhs, what your income is. Now it's on the income, it's not on your investment part. The income that you earn, if that exceeds a certain level, you'll have to pay taxes. So Indian government has created slab rates. The slab rate keeps on changing every financial year. When the ministry comes up with this budget thing, they change the slab rate mostly. So yeah, find out your slab rate, go to your CAs. Okay, if you are having your income less than 2,50,000, okay, you can genuinely be saved. 5 lakh, you can still be saved. Okay, come on, go ahead with more than 5 lakh, 7.5. You are going to be taxed. You have slab rates 10, 20, 30%. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be. No matter you're a miner too. There are people who are mining and who are so happy. This is my free income on planet Earth. No. This is not the case. Yeah, you will have to pay the GST part, and they're charging it at 18% rate. And the luxury items are basically taken at 28% rate. So all those miners
No,
who
no.
are
So talk more about this. So now this is also interesting on the mining part. Like, how is the GST applicable on what amount at what percent? Let's say I do a mining of 1 Bitcoin every 2 weeks. Like every 2 weeks, I get 1 Bitcoin. So
okay.
am I charged on?
Send me some. I'll do the taxation part too.
No. So let's take a
Right.
hypothetical situation. In
Right.
2 weeks, I mine 1 Bitcoin, right? And
Okay.
prices are volatile, right? So there can be two scenarios. I mine and then I sell at market prices, right?
Okay.
So I get some amount. So what tax should I pay on that? That is
Okay.
question number one.
Okay. Let me come to it. Like, okay, well, once people start mining, they're like, oh, this is my free thing that is coming up. It's not the case. Mining is basically treated as a service. And something like services, because the reasons are it's generating a cryptocurrency, that is one. It involves a transaction fees that you're paying, that is two. It has rewards, that is three. And then tax will be collected by the miner on transaction fees or the rewards that you are getting, the currencies that you're earning. If the value of rewards they exceed per se the amount of say 20 lakh rupees, so individual who is a minor, he needs to get himself registered under the GST Act. And no matter now there comes a play. There are people who will tell me, ma'am, we have everything in wallet. And that wallet has no KYC. Now save us from taxation. No, the wallet service provider will be registered in the GST part now. And now also you'll be paid with the trading that you're doing with the similar mining thing, all that you have generated, the cryptos that you've generated. Now trading might attract again the taxation that is 18%, and with the most luxurious things that like the hoteling part, they attract the taxation of 28% of GST, and here it will attract 18% GST. So all those miners super happy with the free income. Be aware you are supposed to pay taxes, and otherwise you'll be counted on someday. So no matter.
No, so 18% on the amount you mined. Let's say 1 Bitcoin is 35, 40,
On your
20.
rewards. See on your rewards. On what
So reward is essentially eventually it becomes to a significant amount. Now it's my income. Like all
It's
on my
your
income.
income. Suppose, for instance, it exceeds 20 lakh, 110% you're supposed to pay 18%. Less than 20,
Or
you still don't have to get your GST number, but still, you will be
Right.
taxed for sure.
Okay. And you were talking about that luxurious item things, that 28%. So how does that work? Like where
All
does
those
the
all those industries, when you go for the hoteling thing, all the luxury goods, all the automobile industry, basically the lucrative automobile industry, it attracts what? It attracts, say, 28% of taxation. Yeah.
No, but that's not applicable here. No, and it's 18%, right?
It's 18%.
Just
Yeah.
hmm.
You never know. They might think it as the luxurious item that you own. It's only
Acha.
21 million. Now they are coming
Okay.
up with 18 only. Currently, it's
Okay.
18. And tomorrow it can shift. Now
Acha.
this is my kind of gut feeling. They
Hmm.
can. There's no way of proposing the bill or anything, but as of now it's 18%, which is true. So
And another question is like how, let's say people do arbitrage, people buy on Indian exchange, then transfer it to international exchanges. Is that PMLA? Is that money laundering? Is that anti-AML? What is it? Like people are doing it like because it's very easy. You type in the address, you type the do a multi-factor authentication, life is sorted. You do cross exchange arbitrage, buying from international exchange, selling it on Indian exchange.
right.
Is it some money laundering or PMLA or something like that?
So the government is completely aware of the fact that people are transferring from Wazir X, Point DCX, from XYZ account, Indian account, they are transferring into the Binance account there, or maybe the KuCoin account, the Kraken account. They are transferring it somewhere or the other. The government is aware of everything. It's not that they don't know that what is happening. And recently, on 22nd of June, this 2021, the government came up with a news which says, if you purchase any cryptocurrency on offshore based exchange, and then if you transfer it to the Indian exchange, the thing that is commonly happening, and a lot of people are doing it who are involved in cryptos. Now they are going to mandate it like 2% levy of taxation on the cryptocurrency purchases that you've made on offshore exchanges servicing Indian markets. So all the offshore exchanges are basically servicing Indian markets. With a button
That's
you
right.
press and you're ready to
That's
go.
right.
You
That's right.
transfer, you deposit, and whatnot. So all the foreign offshore exchanges are going to attract this. There will be 2% mandatory levy of the cryptocurrency purchases tax that they are planning to take. And the regulation that will come into play here will be FEMA. So Foreign Exchange Management Act will be attracted here. They've just come with the latest news, and this news is not really, it's a month old news. On 22nd of June, they've proposed something like this, that let's come up with this kind of thing. It's again a proposed thing. It might come up in a different manner. They can increase the percentage depending on the fact that you think there's an arbitrage with USDT. They might come with a particular percentage so that your arbitrage get cut short to zero, or probably +1 in the government's pocket.
The zero, if it's 5%, the taxation will make it null and it will go into government's pocket. That's right.
Right.
But and that is proposed, na?
Yes,
that
no
is
matter.
proposed.
That is proposed. Yeah. You're still doing it? Okay. Tomorrow, can you do it? I don't know what they're going to come. And this also, though, the lawmakers are equally smarter. They are also layman like us. They are equally aware of the fact that, okay, how does arbitrage works? It was there in Forex also long back.
Yes.
When the Forex market was there, which is still there. Arbitrage has been there ever since the futures came into existence. So yeah, again, there are going to be the loopholes, there are going to be the fillers, and the government is aware. So all those people who think, oh, we are smart enough, we can do things, we are going to move things. No, it's not the case. It was just after the relief that Supreme Court gave in March 2020 that the RBI's 2 years prohibition, the thing got repealed, and the banking channels were open. That made it equally possible. So now I look forward to it that India welcomes crypto. Once the law is passed, it will be hard for trader to avoid taxes for sure. People might think, oh, there are so many regulatory fuzz. Why do I do it? There are people who are going to be out of it because of such reasons. So there are so much of disclosures that I need to do. But at the same
So
time,
I also I think of it like once regulatory frameworks are put in place across the world in jurisdictions and countries, the volatility will fade. Why? Because not any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come and trade. Like right now, to be very honest, right now my cousin, who is not an adult, he also trades from his family's account somewhere. Right, to be very honest, he should not do it, right? Because he's like 12, 13, but he likes that fun of prices, the upper niche, etc., etc. He has a small corpus, 10, 15,000. So my long term is that once regulatory frameworks are put in place in different countries, the volatility will fade off, the volatility and the market will start maturing.
you know,
You
the
don't think?
volatility, no, I don't buy your point today. So it goes like volatility in the crypto market is never going to fade away. You know, if there are per se X million users today in the crypto market, tomorrow they are going to increase to 10x users in the crypto market. If you see the scenario of 2017 when I entered, 2013 when my friends entered, I would say they were X in 2013, there are 10x in 2017, there are 100x in 2020, 2021 is like a big thing. All those exchanges are coming up with millions and millions of dollars that, oh, this is the revenue, this is the amount that is being traded in our exchange. So no matter the government comes up with regulations, no matter they come up taking it up as a bill like the El Salvador people did or the Paraguay people are going to do. So as no matter they'll be adopted, even the cryptos will be adopted as the currency to the nations. But then how do you think the volatility is going to decrease? There are a number of people, the inflow of the footfall of people are going to increase. The volatility is automatically going to jump and pump, but the dumping, pumping is always going to be there. It cannot stop. It would not stop.
No,
Nowhere.
so see, understand now why is volatility at the first place? Because it's not regulatory. You can't be that volatile in a stock market. In India, if stock crashes, if it's not in the F1 segment, if it crashes below 10%, there's a freeze, upper circuit, lower circuit,
Yeah.
lower,
1
right?
hour, 2 hour. There is
1 hour, 2 hour, yeah, yeah. There is a regulatory framework where people's wealth is not destroyed. Like, but in crypto, if things go south, it goes south. There is no regulatory framework. Bitcoin can go from 29,000 as of now to zero in the next 1 hour. We don't know. We don't know. We don't, like, hypothetical situation, right?
it
But
cannot go
that's not.
to zero.
No,
Hypothetical.
matlab hypothetical situation again.
Okay,
Hypothetical.
okay, okay, okay.
So my sense is that once regulations come into picture, there will be check and balances wherein prices will not be that volatile. Like in India, I see, like in US, SEC is doing its job wherein it scrutinized Ripple, XRP, what they were doing. It's scrutinizing Coinbase, other exchanges also. So that's where the volatility will fade off, is my thesis. But then again, everyone has different opinions.
So the volatility is going to stay. That is the beauty of the crypto market. The volatility is going to be there no matter the 100% volume is with the people or it's with few investors or whatsoever the tokenization is done in a certain manner. The volatility is always going to be there. It might crack up with some kind of news, with some kind of new smart contracts coming, with any n number of things coming. The way you told me, like somebody who's 12 or 13 is trying to trade in crypto markets. I think even in the stock exchange, I know kids who are trading in the stock markets, who are basically trading in their parents' account or who have their own account. So later or sooner or later, they're going to come with the regulations. Okay, you have to have that KYC is compulsory once you do the transaction in all the exchanges. And I do know a kid who launched a coin who's just 12 or 13.
12, 12. Yeah,
Who's 12, yeah. So yeah, it's people, all those young kids, what we did in our early 20s, these guys are doing at their 12 and 8 and whatnot. So, this is the proactive generation. So
yes,
the
yes,
pump
yes.
and dump is going to be real when they turn like in their 20s because they know how the pumping and dumping is done. For us, it can be new. For them, it's like, oh, they've seen it since childhood. They know how to pump and dump. So it's never going to fade off. And no matter how hypothetical the situation can be, There are going to be some or the other kind of prices, no matter the market crashed somewhere very badly yesterday. It's doing it today even.
Today
So
also.
yeah. But nothing is going to come to zero. It might be certain cents, the way it was in the inception during the launch period. But nah, it's not going to go to zero. There are smart contract people. There are people who have written the contracts. There are miners who are already holding it. Those guys who have made it legit on the social networking for the people's eye, for a normal, genuine person like a CA or a normal layman, all those owners have the onus of making sure that it doesn't goes to zero. Me and you can be retail investors or the normal people. Now those guys are the big investors. They would not make it zero somehow.
नहीं मतलब we can debate, but
Yeah.
this might not be the right forum. So,
Yeah.
but I have one last question, and then probably I'll take a closing thoughts from your side. That what do you think? How will what's your thesis, and how do you think the new law will play out? Like, what would be in it? Like,
Okay, so this is something again very hypothetical. I can say anything that I wish to.
no, matlab you have an
Yeah.
opinion, a strong opinion.
I
You
have an
hope so.
opinion that the government is going to come with a very good kind of regulation with a good amount of disclosure. The KYC part is going to be very strong. You have to give all the strong KYC. They're going to come up with the accounting standards. We as CAs, we propose these accounting standards to the government, and that is how it is proceeded by NAFRA and other institutions. They try to pass it out. So, there is going to be notified Indian accounting standards on how the crypto is to be treated. There is going to be the classification of cryptocurrencies. Some cryptos will be like, okay, flat 30% taxation. That is how far I can see that maybe Bitcoin is going to be taxed like flat 30%. If you deal with the similar thing, there will be no escape from the government side. That is how I feel about it. Now, this is completely hypothetical. I'm telling about my knowledge that I possess. That is how I think that it might be the law coming up. Then if you do some suspicious transaction, so automatically those reportings will be done. It will be formatted. It will be given to the government. All those reporting will be done from the exchange themselves. So all those Indian exchanges will directly go and report to the government that, oh, this particular thing happened in the Indian market. So it will go that way. Then anti-money laundering thing is going to come up. Those 2% taxation with all the people who are looking for the arbitrage opportunity, probably yes, something like that might come up. 2% of taxation if you transfer from the offshore accounts. So miners will be taxed not only GST, there might be other regimes that might come up. And all those people who are getting salary in crypto, you might get some kind of disclosures, specific disclosures, the agreement disclosures that you need to do, or you need to show your salary slips, which initially or per se, a lot of people are trying to escape out of it just because they're earning in cryptos. So government might come up with the fact that, okay, bring on all your salary slips, and all those people who are trying to manage portfolios will also be taxed, that they are doing it for the investors. So they will also be taxed. And the Companies Act 2013 will come into play. It will tell the companies to disclose all your crypto holdings that you possess. It still has to be disclosed in your P&L account, in your account. It has to be disclosed what is your income, what is your profit and loss, and what is the quantity of currency that you're holding. So Companies Act 13 will come into play. So there are multiple acts, and then there will be one blanket act that will come up that, okay, this is the Crypto Act 202122, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. So they are going to come up with something very serious, because that is the reason maybe they have delayed it from the monsoon to winter season. Maybe they take the another monsoon season, but they are going to come with something very crisp from their side, that, okay, this is how we're going to track you, trace you, and how long you're going to be here this way without paying taxes. So government is also
and you think this will be that comprehensive, like at the in the first bill, like it will look into minors, people taking salaries, people doing, you think it will be that comprehensive?
Definitely. See, there might be some loopholes. When GST came into the picture, it came with very limited facts and figures. Later, the site was prepared. It's coming up every single day. They're coming up with
Yes.
something or the other new. So for layman, they'll come with something very, very simple in the initial part as a crypto trader or as a miner. They'll come with very liberal things. Okay, disclose this. Sooner or later, you'll see 5 years down the line, all the things that you're thinking, they'll come with the very tight regulations of, oh, this is how it has to be done. You cannot escape it. You cannot avoid it. And somehow you are liable to pay to the government. My request to all the audience would be, okay, go ahead, pay your taxes, be streamlined, talk to your CAs, reach out to people who actually know how to tax your crypto things. I know a few people who would just say, oh, it's a bullshit. You are doing something wrong. No, it's not the case. Find the right person who can pay your taxes, who's aware of how the taxation is done, how the tax planning is done, and who's aware of the fact that these things are not going to this is not a bluff thing. There are developers who are working, there are engineers who are working. So to make a layman understand this is very hard initially, but once they're aware, they're completely aware that okay, this is how the market works. So that is how I see the market. That is how I see the taxation part from the government. And in long run, I see most of you who are listening this paying taxes per se, yes. Who are even trying to avoid would actually come and say that, oh, I have to disclose it because they are coming up with penalties now. Don't wait for the day when the government is going to tell you that, okay, give us that percentage of penalty which you are not ready to afford. So make sure that you don't escape things that nicely that tomorrow you land in a very nicer problem.
Interesting. So thank you so much, Riddhi. We'll probably close this. It was very interesting. Like I learned it how you should tax your cryptos and what you should do. I really think folks who were listening should also realize what they were doing right, wrong, etc. But it was fun chatting with you. Seriously.
Thank you so much, Rohit. Thank you. Point. Yeah. Okay.
We can probably. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye.